Now everybody's working, everybody has things to do. It's currently clearance season, so lots of biscuits and cookies hopefully in the oven. Spice. I keep saying biscuits and cookies, aren't they kind of the same thing though? But yeah, it's pies and biscuits. It still says we're low on food. I can clearly see that there's only 3 biscuits remaining. Somebody keeps eating them too quickly. Maybe they're just too delicious. One thing that we have, well, coming in endlessly is the sea marrows. If we look at the caches we have lying around. Can we get some workers away from some building for the time being? Like, okay, we only have 1 human in the tea house, etc. Also, we had the question about fabrics. We are not having any fabrics because we don't have anything to make them out of. Do we have sources for fabrics when it comes to, let's say, the caches? So fabric production seems useful at this point. The large cache can provide us with. And we really like the small cache because of the chests of the ancient tablets. Is this human doing anything? Can you just deal with this, breaking open this cache for the time being? And the storm is approaching anyway, so 6 workers will be free to deal with whatever building stuff needs to be done. So there seems to be no input for the cookhouse at the moment. And yeah, we know the drizzle water topic is an issue. We also don't have any planks. Probably because the planks got taken to the... Yeah, we can see that they're being used by the tavern. Just 1 more there and then it's time for the rain collector. And that leads us to having porridge access. Which should make the humans a little bit happier. Hello. A little bit of an unexpected trader. So immediately I'm looking at the bigger ovens upgrade because more pies means less problems with the food. So let's grab that one right off the bat. And if we consider our fabric production, they don't provide us anything that could help with the fabric production, so we should rather focus on... Okay, let's maybe give them some flour as well, because we have a lot of it. Actually, let me just quickly check. So we have 124 grain and 100 flour. I think we can get rid of some of the flour at least, so let's make it like half. Then let's get rid of the packs of provision, all the amber we have, and let's just trade it all in for food because we'll be in some trouble if we don't have enough food by the time the storm starts in a moment. So yeah, let's just get some mushrooms. Nothing else besides that. Yeah, I think that was a good upgrade, especially regarding the pie production. Did we take a look at the blueprints available to us? So, yeah. Can we make the coats? Well, we do have some resin from somewhere, but effectively, I would say it's not a good time for the coat production. Okay, the storm is upon us again. First things first, we will remove the woodcutters, which leaves us with only 3 hostility level. And everybody's relatively happy, so I'm hoping we don't have to sacrifice any wood. The remaining workers can... Well, they can do whatever they want really, but... Everybody's moving so slowly because of... I guess it's the hailstorm, isn't it? No, okay. Whatever hostility level probably makes them move slower. The beavers are not happy enough, so I will remove the preferential treatment for lizards for the time being. Yeah, we need a source for the fabrics. How do we get... The beaver's resolve is back to positive at least. Well, we basically need to open up another dangerous glade, that's the thing. And yeah, not much choice. Well, it's either the top one or the bottom one. I think we'll go for the top one here. I'll already mark it for the woodcutters. Also make sure we are felling all the trees again. So 7 free workers. Is there a place where we can utilize you? The beaver resolve is getting low again. But the storm is almost over, so they will not be able to escape our Lumberville. In time. On time. And remember, we have this excavation option here, which would give us a lot of reputation points in the end. And if I remember correctly, also a bunch of amber or the tablets to trade in for amber. So the beavers are struggling. No worries. Just a few seconds remaining until the end of the storm, and then we're back to business. Okay, yeah, let's use the shortcut. Right click on the axe here and all the beavers are up and running again. What about the cornerstones? Don't need to gain lizards, to be fair. And Hearth's corruption is also not a thing, so we'll just grab 8 amber. Perhaps we'll be able to buy something useful again from the traders coming in. So it is year number 7. We have so far gained 5.75 reputation. These orders we haven't picked yet because we don't have access to ale production. And does this option... No, there's still no option for ale. So we can either go for the coat production or the wood production, but since coats are probably more in demand, let's just pick clothier. There's a little bit of time until we can pick the next blueprint, but that's okay. So for some of these orders, I see that we need like 3 or 7 packs of building materials. I do want to check if we already have the recipe available for us. So let's check for packs. Nothing like that. Okay. So probably we need to build this makeshift post. So we can make some building materials into packs. And just get 2 of those remaining orders that we already chose resolved. It's okay, we don't need any newcomers at the moment. They can wait. We're already in trouble with the food as it is, so... I do see some skewers that have been made, so some progress in that department. Well, to be fair, cookhouse could use 1 more baker or cook. It's okay. Is it okay though? Okay, just let's focus on this dangerous glade. I will narrow down a little bit how these woodcutters are cutting, so we get to see what's behind this. I think it's dangerous glade number 3, and well, it's also one forbidden glade that we opened up. There it is. So we get this forsaken crypt that if we don't do it, all the amber and wine will be lost, which, well, we have some amber and wine. But we would ideally like to finish it before that. We don't have enough amber. Well, if we tear it down, we would get 30 bundles of leather, 3 tablets, and 20 boxes of crystallized dew. But this Queen's Grace, we need to start working towards winning this game. So I think whenever the next trader comes, we'll grab some more amber and then we'll be good to go. I didn't imagine Amber becoming the thing that we need here so suddenly. What about tools? We only have 6 of them. Yeah. So there is also an inscribed monolith here. True rulers of this world shall rise again and break the seals that bind them. Counts as 2 decorations of its type. So we'll just move it somewhere close to our settlement. And the building that we actually found here was the artisan building, which also provides us with barrels, coats and scrolls, so it's a bit useless. But we'll leave it there for the time being. And the copper here, though. Is it something we want? Let's open up another dangerous glade. I know it's getting a bit too dangerous, the situation, but I think we should be fine regardless. The last storm showed us that we'll be able to most likely manage the situation, even at like level 4 hostility. The lizards seem to be really happy. We'll give them the preferential treatment again. Okay, so remember when I was talking about the termite nest or something like that? Seems like we found one. Lovely. We just need to somehow open it up. Okay, so we probably will not be able to get the pipes. The tools are also unlikely, but the parts. Do we have some orders that would give us more parts? Yes, we do. So the one that requires us to deliver 3 building materials is the likely candidate. Yeah. So we want the termite nest because it gives us 5 insects per minute, and that is a lovely upgrade in the place where we don't have much food. Okay. It's time to do the recruitment of new people, and we want to be on the conservative side. So, oh, there's actually, well, you guys are bringing the parts that we need. So 1 lizard and 4 beavers. Hello there. We will provide you with accommodation in a moment's time. Don't you worry. We're ready for everything. Still, I want 1 lizard to start making some packs of building materials. That would give us 2 reputation points. And yeah, when it comes to the burrow itself, then we have enough parts. I know we'll be using up a lot of them, but you saw we also have some extra in the order. So what is the working effect? -5 to global resolve. There's still time until the storm, so I believe you can make it before storm, so we don't have to struggle with these 2 aspects again. And look at what we have here. We have the tavern. So I think, yeah, just double checking. We can make beer from here. So whenever we're hesitating about picking our next order, we can be sure that we can deliver on the ale. Let's pick the serving ale objective. And let's take a look at the last order as well. Okay, so it's about religion and also delivering 25 packs of trade goods. If you look at the rewards, then it doesn't really matter. We just pick the one that's easier to fulfill, and I believe it's going to be the 25 packs of trade goods. Just because we don't have a religion building yet. We do have access to the what was it called, incense, but yeah, let's not risk it. Need the orders to be fulfilled. Oh, what is hidden behind here? Well, remember we picked up a fishing hut before? I didn't even notice that there's like a large fishing hut. Or, sorry, fishing pond between the trees here. Let's take our fishing hut and move it closer. Ideally, we will be fishing with crops only, though, so... Sorry, yeah. Well, crops will be converted to bait and we'll be baiting the fish that way. We'll assign 1 beaver to work on the rain collector, so the cookhouse can also make some porridge. Now, why don't you guys have a shelter yet? Okay, it's being built. Lovely. And... The makeshift post. Once it's done with the 10 packs of building materials, as you saw, we need some crops. And we can make it out of grain itself, so that's going to be perfect. So we will not be assigning any fishermen until then. Okay, so everybody has biscuits. Everybody has pies. There are some pickled goods, although they're kind of running low, but then again 10 are being mained at the moment as well. And remember, the tavern, it's still available to us. We need 3 extra resolve. What about this event though? Kind of left it there, and the termite burrows is something that came up instead, so yeah, we wanted to get this effect from calming the spirits. Just needed some amber to do it. And the only sources of amber, we might actually call a trader in earlier than needed. Otherwise the next one will be in 5 minutes, but in 5 minutes it will be too late. Okay, a while ago we also sent one human to deal with cash. I believe they did it already. Maybe we can also open up this cache specifically. So we should have enough sea marrow as it's coming to our camp infinitely. Since we're not building anything, we can use both free builders to do this cache. So this human will also take part in opening up the cache. Yeah, this haunted brewery was a nice find. By the way, woodcutters, just in case, please don't open up any glades anymore. We need to control the situation for the time being. One resource we're not utilizing anymore yet is this salt vein, copper vein. We can consider these, especially because I believe the salt can be used by one of the cooking recipes. Double checking with, well, we're still using copper ore. Please do not use fabrics. I mean, you can use bricks and planks too in order to make the packs of building materials. I already know you made it something out of something you should not have, right? Seems like there's nothing illegal in the warehouse of this building. Yeah, after the lizard is done with this pack of building materials, we can turn in another order, getting us to 6.8 reputation. So termite nest has been completed, giving us 5 insects every minute. It's a nice input in terms of food, but then again we ran out of stuff in the foragers camp and we cannot really replace it at the moment. So this will remain dormant for the time being, and perhaps we can start working on the haunted brewery. How much time until... No, well, we'll do it after the storm. And regarding this specific place, then... Can it wait until the end of the storm? Like, the consequence was that we will lose all amber and wine. Or if we were to choose the route of tearing it down... The problem is the timing, because... Like, I would have to start right now, which means we kind of go through the storm to do it. But I don't want to lose all the amber. We don't have any wine. Yeah, I think we'll just go for this option. We'll use the bricks to do the event. Tear it down, we'll get some additional stuff that we can trade in for the amber. Also don't underestimate the bundle of leather and the crystallized dews that we get. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, the storm is almost here. Here it is. So please stop wood cutting. Situation with the logs is quite nice actually. I think we'll be sacrificing some logs. And we'll settle with level 3 hostility. We do not want to turn in the orders just now because we would be climbing back to level 4 hostility. Can stop the preferential treatment of lizards. So please do keep in mind that we do get -6 resolve from here, and we're still doing quite well despite that. So another storm that we're having to struggle with, but well, I'd say the first storms were much bigger of a struggle because everybody seems to be rather happy regarding the resolve. Once the storm is over, let me just quickly check something. Do we have any packs of crops? Yes. So let's not let the woodcutters do anything for the time being. Let's rather have them do some fishing on the side, only with bait. And is anybody else wanting to work on something else? Perhaps, yeah, this large abandoned cache could use some attention. And let's break it open as well, as we do not have access to the tools that we need. And the other cache is give us pottery, berries and mushrooms. Again, useful. Let's open it up as well. No, we need to use up all the resources we have access to. If anything, we can always open up more glades and get more caches. Okay, so beaver happiness is declining. This effect of -6 global resolve for every 10 amber is... well, it only applies once throughout the time this event is active, so... I expect we will not be having any... like linear decreases of resolve when it comes to the citizens of Lumberville. Okay, we will stop sacrificing of logs because I see we're really low right now. But we will turn on the sea marrow as something that they could use as fuel, because clearly the logs are almost gone. And we survived another storm. Perfect. Cornerstone selection. 3 clay per minute. Or gain 3 oil for every... So yeah, regarding the small press, we already have like the marrows coming in every minute, so we will not be taking that one. But the clay production is something that we cannot say no to. We do have some stones here. Where is our stone cutter, by the way? Okay, it has work to do anyway. But the clay can be used for pottery. I guess we finally got pottery building anyway. Now, woodcutters. We don't have any, right? Because some of them are fishing. It's okay. Stop fishing, please. Then, yeah, let's right click a little bit here. We already had some extra woodcutters available to us. And when it comes to the place where you should be cutting through, let's make it so that you cut again near the base, but let's go a little bit south. Just like that. So the main issue we're actually having is... well, we just need more resolve for the village or Lumberville citizens to get more reputation points. And remember, we were supposed to accept another, or well, finish another order, so we will be getting some packs of skewers, parts and new arrivals. I think we can find a place for them to work at. And when it comes to the other orders, then at least the packs of building materials is being fulfilled. The leisure part, okay, now is probably the time to fix the haunted brewery. We'll assign some humans and beavers to work on it. So -3 resolve every 45 seconds and it keeps stacking. Is it possible, or is our food stack finally going a bit up? I still no. I think it's still dwindling around a bit. So basically, we're making too little food for all the citizens of our village settlement. However you prefer to call it. We are at a population level of 46 already. I see some are without a home. I don't know how this keeps happening. Let's build like a few extra shelters for these current villagers and any future ones that might join us. Now if you take a look at the caches, a bunch of food is being brought in from there. A large abandoned cache is missing stone actually. But we had enough. Can you do it with, instead of the stone, please do it with the seam arrows. Thank you. We already have workers, so. And we would like to switch from using seam arrows as fuel source to switching back to the logs. Now, let's take a look at the recipes while this flawless brewer is being restored. So we have quite a nice porridge recipe plus the beer recipe. And for the beer, we'll of course be using grain again along with pottery or barrels. We actually have all 3 types of containers available to us, so the provisioner making barrels. Is that still a thing? Okay, for this we need the copper bars. So one production line we are missing is from this, basically the copper. And ideally the one that's down there, along with the salt, so we can get 2 things with the same process. Let's move the woodcutters closer to where the mine should be. Let's mark the trees to be cut. Also the herbalist camp needs to be repositioned. We have a bunch of herbs waiting for you. So no downtime from there. Yeah, we'll clean up the place around the mine. So we can, just in case, get the production line going for the mine to the copper to... Wait, well, there is a critical question. Can we even make copper bars anywhere? So this is a recipe we need to pay attention to. But let's make the mine anyway, because the salt will be useful. Hello. We have a trader that joined us, so... Oh, well, we definitely want the +1 to grain production. So first of all, let's sell all the ancient tablets. Building materials we will be keeping, but the ancient tablets give us quite a nice boost. So 25 amber coming in, out of which 19 we will use for the grain bonus. And if we take a look at all the other resources that are being offered to us, then perhaps some tools for future usage. So 6 in total. That would allow us to open up a medium-sized cache once we find a new one, because I believe we just opened up all the caches that we had access to. Yeah, that'll do. Is there anything else that we have in abundance that we could sell? It doesn't look like it. So that, well, we could try to get another egg or mushroom from here, but they're not willing to do this for us, so let's do this trade of amber to tools. We got some nice upgrades again. How are we with the grain, actually? We're too bad, because the next clearance season is approaching and we still have like 80 grain remaining from the previous one. What will be grabbing some extra grain is the brewery, which should be unhaunted in a matter of seconds. So newcomers are waiting. They can wait a bit longer. We're not in a rush to accept them yet, because food is scarce, as you can see. So 6 seconds until we get rid of the stacks of low resolve. Okay, now what are the numbers? Going up, that's nice. And yeah, soon we'll finish the order for the packs of building materials. Now, what about the mine? Do we have parts for the mine? We have. Don't have enough planks for some peculiar reason. I'm just double checking that we don't have it turned off. So we're still producing planks. And what if we assign 3 workers into the tavern? We would get 3 extra resolve, right? But that doesn't still give us enough to get reputation through resolve. Do have 9 free workers though. Yeah, let them go. Let's just check it out. So 2 humans will go here along with 1 lizard. And then if we try to focus on just getting them all happy. Wait, is the... Okay, so we also need some... Yeah, never mind. We need humans to be working on the brew. So let's take them away from the tavern. Let's just have it all lizard company. The new humans will be dealing with the ale. Ale will be your priority. Let's make it so that you can make up to 200 of those. You have some containers to put it in. You have enough grain to work on. Just focus on grain here. Also, grain will be used for the porridge, which has a nice recipe. And any water will be perfectly fine for us. And we will limit you to have 200 porridge as well. Packs of crops. Sure, make them as well if you have some extra time. And make up to 21 of those. Now we still have 4 free workers or builders. And we do have the fishing hut that could use some helping hands. So 3 beavers will go here. And once the mine is ready, we could consider like additional citizens to be accepted to the Lumberville. But first, let's take a look at if we can get some resolve from... Well, resolve into reputation conversion going on, but still no. So one option we have is like if we were to gather up a bunch of wood, we could... Yeah, okay, for that we actually need to put the woodcutters in a better place. Yeah, if we gather up enough wood, we can get rid of the woodcutters and just have higher resolve through that. Also, if we could sacrifice the wood, we could pump up the resolve. Yeah, that's kind of dream territory right now. Ooh, that's a lot of new visitors. Well, 6 is probably the one we will go for. Yeah, let's do it. The mine is getting ready. We have now perfectly 4 beavers available for mining processes. And if we do get access to another blueprint, then we will probably be picking the one that's going to give us access to copper bars. Just to make sure we have enough production of containers. I think barrels needed them, right? Okay, so the mine is up and operational. It's well, it's mining both the copper ore as well as the salt. Is there an option for us to... Yes, there is actually. We have enough insects to excavate a little bit, and we will do it. Because at the end of this excavation, I believe we get 2 reputation. And that is a lot at this stage of the game. So we have around 1 minute and 13 seconds until the next storm. We're really running low on wood, regardless of what we do. I guess it was because they were so far away from the hearth and the warehouse that they were mostly just walking around. But we need them to clean up the path for mining operations, of course. Can we consider a 3rd hearth? Like somewhere around this top right corner. Especially if we want to open up more glades around there. Let's check if we have the resources. So besides the planks, we have everything. except also for the clearance area. So it's more likely that we'll be able to place the hearth near the mine somewhere. So this would be the ideal option. Well, at least the best one we can go for at the moment. So I will move one of the woodcutter camps over here. And let's clean up the space. Okay, and this peak delivery order will leave for the later times when the storm is over again, because it will start in 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. Okay, sorry woodcutters, you have to give up your axes, or you have to do something else for the time being. So planks. We cannot do planks because we effectively don't have enough wood to do a lot of planks at the moment. Okay, so resolve is kind of on the low side. Not too low though, because we have such a high resolve by default. It takes a lot of time for the resolve to go below. Well, go into the negative numbers, meaning that even if there's like 1.5 minutes remaining, probably nobody's gonna leave the settlement due to the low resolve by the end of the storm. Although beavers are really trying. But since the humans are totally okay and the lizards are just high in the sky with the resolve, then can maybe give the beavers a little bit of a preferential treatment, and they will be able to just hold on just that little bit extra. Yeah, I think we're good now. They'll have like 5-6 seconds to restore their resolve after the storm. But yeah, we'll keep things like that for the time being. So we have all kinds of resources. We've been struggling with food throughout the game. We can consider another cookhouse to mitigate this problem, but actually the existing cookhouse is also missing one worker. Where can we get that from? I mean, from this event, I guess. Lizards are waiting on the excavation option because of lacking lumber. Planks specifically. Yeah, let's just keep an eye on the beavers. I was rather confident that we would make it, but just in case. All good.